I remember you said it on a radio show or TV show. You was with one man, two men, three men over the course of a 24-hour, 48-hour span. Did you think about the ramifications of how people would look at you, or does that not bother you?
So you're referring to the video that I did in my car where I was talking about how I had sex with, was it 3 men in a day?
Yeah.
And there was one time, my 3 guys in a week had a mean yeast infection. Looking back at it, I could laugh now. And then I ended up getting a yeast infection.
Yes.
I came out pretty unscathed for just a yeast infection.
Right.
Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Chaurielle if you're new, and if you're returning, thank you for coming back. As you can see in the thumbnail, I have Brittany Renner, and that's not to bash her, but she is the case study in this video, which is going to help illustrate my topic for today, which is it is better to keep a good reputation than having to repair one. And she's a perfect example of that. And this video is primarily for us ladies because a lot of the times we're pushing, oh, my body, my choice, I can do what I want. But it does come with consequences. It does bite you in the butt in the end. And I want to get into that after my intro. So this is in no way, shape, or form a tea video, gossip, or a bashing video. I honestly have empathy for Brittany Renner because we as people don't know why people make the decisions they make. We can say, oh, she's stupid, or she's a gold digger, she's this or that. But at the end of the day, she's gone through some trauma, whether it was in childhood or in early teens development, where she became the person she is, and she's now dealing with the consequences of her choices from 5 to 10 years ago now. And that's why she's today's case study. If you don't know who Brittany Renner is, I'll give you a very brief backstory, and then we'll get into how not preserving yourself and protecting your reputation affects you as a woman later on in life. Brittany Renner is a popular influencer. She really got her stardom, you can say, on Instagram. She got popular around 2015. She was a college athlete, and she was known for her physique because her waist was snatched and her booty was big. So she was showing it off and she got popular. And this is where it gets tricky, because once you start showing your body as a piece of meat, the rumors will happen whether you want them to or not, whether you're doing anything or not. People are going to start thinking, oh, she's this, she's that, she's this, she's a thought, even if you're not. So that was her first phase, just being on the scene. Her second phase was her being linked to various rappers and athletes. And at first it was just rumors, but then she kind of confirmed it by putting out this book with a provocative cover, which does not help your reputation either. And she didn't specifically say anybody's names, but you can infer who she was talking about if you read the book. Her third phase was her villain arc. She started getting hate online, started getting called different names, gold digger, you're this, you're that. So she kind of played into that. She was trying to act unbothered, and she became the villain. That's when the infamous video came out where she said this.
The worst people to deal with are the athletes. None of them use really. So if y'all really want to try to come up off a check off a man, you could just an athlete. They're really done.
And she was very unapologetic about it. And around this time, people kind of didn't want anything to do with her. Like certain men of stature, they were pretty much done with her. And then in the fourth phase, this is where she kind of shot herself in the foot, because as you saw the previous video where she said athletes are dumb and they don't use this and that, she ended up being with an athlete, getting pregnant, and then trying to start a family with him. But because he was much younger than her, now not only was she called a gold digger and a thought, but now allegedly, because she was going to his college games when she's like 7 years his senior. And after her and her baby father broke up, she went on this press tour, kind of trying to clean her image up.
I thought everybody else had your side chick. In a male community, we know the chicks that's like, yo, that's side chick.
So what makes me a side chick? Because I'm beautiful?
The one who everybody but doesn't wife.
There are so many women that would have just stayed. This isn't about a check for me. I had everything I could ever want. I got to drive the Bentley Bentayga. Like, you could do what I wanted to do Why would I leave? Because money is not enough for me. It never will be enough for me. I believe in true love.
And speak from where she comes from and who she is and trying to clean it up, but it didn't really work. So towards the end of that press run, she went back to her old ways, twerking on Charles and White and doing outrageous things and just clickbait type of stuff to keep her name ringing. And then now we're here where she's converted to Islam, and now people are like, that's a hoax because you're just turning to religion to clean up your image.
Any other issues we need to discuss?
Brittany said y'all was low vibrational.
Let me ask you a question. What did I do to you?
Just a fake ass.
When somebody else, but you walking this walk, right?
You don't get to judge.
Never disrespected you, not one time. But you're on this walk, you're gonna walk
Who
and
is
walk
more
it.
knowledgeable?
And
You
you're
are
gonna
God.
walk this.
She ends up getting married to somebody. The marriage doesn't work out.
We got married April 6th and divorced May 28th.
And now we're here where she took the hijab off and she has her hair out again. And that's why she's the perfect case study, because she's been through a lot, she's done a lot, and honestly she did it in her youth. And women are just not forgiven for what they do, even if it was when they were young or they had no guidance. And this is why I am talking about this now, of why it's better to keep a good reputation versus trying to repair your reputation, because you can always be like, well, I did that in my early 20s, or I did that when I was in college. People don't care when you're a woman. If you don't carry yourself with class, if you don't have standards, if you're just sleeping with this person, sleeping with that person, or it even looks that way, that will always be marked on you. And I have 3 points of why it is better to keep a good reputation as a woman than to have to repair it, because 9 times out of 10 it can't be repaired. My first point is double standards. Double standards are always in the favor of men, and I know women hate that, but it is just the truth. So the best thing you can do is to not even put yourself in a situation where you will look bad, where a man will have the upper hand, and now they can say this and that about you, because at the end of the day, you will always get the shorter end of the stick being a woman when you are promiscuous, or you seem to be promiscuous, even if you're not. Even say you're a dancer, a midnight ballerina they call it. It doesn't matter if you've never slept with clients. People will still judge you because of your occupation. And that's for everything when it comes to women. We almost have to be perfect. It almost doesn't seem fair, because men get to just do whatever they want, then they end up with a good woman and have kids or get married or whatever. And then when a woman is living a certain lifestyle, she's judged for it, and she may end up lonely and single the rest of her life, or just it comes up later on when she has a family. And it seems unfair, but at the same time, women should be held to a higher standard, because we bring life into this world, and we really have to think about our futures as women. We don't want to be a woman that kept giving our body away to so many men, when we want to be untouched for our husbands. Honestly, like, that's one of the things a man can hang his hat on is, oh, these guys haven't had my lady. Or you can hang your hat on that as a mother, like, my children don't have to worry about hearing things about their mother, because that stuff can come up later on. And it can seem unfair, but at the end of the day, being a woman, we should carry ourselves to a higher standard because of who we are. Like, women are amazing, we're precious, we really are special, and people shouldn't even have access to us like that in the first place. So it really comes down to self-esteem, self-worth, truly having self-worth, and you won't even have to deal with double standards. And healing, a lot of times the choices people make when they're promiscuous is because they haven't healed from whatever childhood trauma or whatever has happened to them in the past. And when you heal, you won't even be put in positions where your reputation can get messed up and double standards end up slapping you in the face. My second point when it comes to it's better to keep a good reputation than to repair one is, now that we have the internet, now that we have social media and things don't really delete or get erased, we have to deal with our digital footprints. It's hard to think this way, especially if you're a teenager and your frontal lobe is not fully developed, you're trying to have fun, you're doing what your friends are doing or what your favorite influencer is doing, but you really have to move with caution. You need to be discreet and private in general, not to be sneaky because you're doing things, but because you really shouldn't have your business online in general, and especially who you're dating. And men should not have pictures of you. Men should not have videos of you. You can think you love him now, that he loves you, but you don't know what he'll do with those photos and videos while you're together and after you guys break up, because he might show them in private to people when you guys are together, and then when you break up, now he has blackmail. And too many girls have made this mistake. This type of stuff, and I know people don't believe in marriage, but it is what it is. Certain things should only be for your husband. Sending out photos and videos should only be for your husband. It just saves you in the long run. It saves you from having a digital footprint that you don't want to get out. It's the same thing with what you tweet, what memes you put up, what selfies and twerk videos. You shouldn't be doing certain videos in the first place. By you not doing it at all, people cannot screenshot things, they cannot screen record it. It just keeps your reputation clean, because that stuff will always come back up. Even with employment, that can affect your jobs. And not only that, it can haunt you later on when you do have a family, when you do get married to somebody, you try to move out of town to clean up your reputation, and your digital footprint can still haunt you. So that's something that you just want to avoid. Stop posting things online, stop saying things online that you're going to regret later, because now that will affect your reputation, especially if you're talking nasty and portraying yourself as somebody who is loose and out there. And my third point as to why it's better to keep a good reputation over having to repair one is because the less dirt that is on your name, the easier your life is. You have a better chance and an easier time getting a good man when a man knows you're of quality. Even men that have a past where they were like out there where they're promiscuous, they know they have to tighten up when it comes to you, because you don't carry yourself that way, you don't behave that way. But when a girl is more loose and she's known for it and there's proof online, that girl now has limited options of quality. Now that woman has to date somebody super younger who's naive and she can manipulate or just doesn't care, or she has to date somebody much older than her who she may not even be attracted to, but that person doesn't care about her past because she's like that person's young sugar baby or his little tender. It's harder to date somebody in your age range when they know your reputation is bad. Also, it's harder to get a man of quality. Usually you're gonna get a man that is also has the same past and habits as you, and because he knows you're like him, he doesn't trust you. He's not gonna change for you most of the time, and you might end up like Brittany and have a 52-day marriage where you may have given your all, but the person you married, they weren't of quality, honestly. And also just men in general, when a man knows that you've lived a certain way, you've made certain choices in your past and been with all these people, they don't trust you, they don't take you serious. They may act like it in the moment, but that's because they want their turn next most of the time, even when you're trying to change and be a good girl, quote unquote, and they just don't have good intentions for you because they don't see you in that way. They see how you moved in your past, even if it was 5 years ago. Men can't erase those type of things out of their head. They just think of you that way. And just human beings in general, usually, unfortunately, humans are naturally negative. So when they think of somebody, usually somebody thinks of the negative part about somebody. So they'd be like, oh yeah, the one with the crooked teeth, or the one that has bad breath, or the one that can't dress. That's how people think of people. Oh yeah, the one, she was dating so-and-so, she's this and that, or he lost his job, like, oh yeah, he lives with his mom. People literally think of the negative things. So if you're giving them ammo, they can't wait to talk about it and then just keep that label on you for their sick satisfaction. So if they don't have dirt on you, at that point, they just making stuff up. When the hate don't work, they start telling lies when you have a good reputation. But when you have a bad reputation, it's not lies. It's actually the truth, even if it was years ago. But it just doesn't get erased because that's just how people are. So I hope Brittany Renner does have a happy ending. I know, I could see it in her eyes. She really wants somebody to love her. And it's sad to see. But it's like when you look for love in all the wrong places because you're getting attention at the time or whatever the case may be. It's all attention, all love quote unquote love is not good love. And we just have to really sit back, and when you're in that position, look at yourself. Why do I want to be with somebody so bad? Why do I keep longing for this from someone and trying to prove that I'm trustworthy or I'm worthy to be loved and they don't love me? You gotta do the work. You gotta be single, not mess with anybody, and just be alone and truly find God, like actually find him, and just be made whole, because usually girls that have slept around in the past or currently, it's something missing, and they do just want to be loved, whether they want to admit it or not. No woman wants to just keep giving it up to a bunch of people, and I'm not saying Brittany did, but I'm just saying, just to portray yourself as a booty girl, IG model, something happened. So people like that, you gotta pray for them, but you do need to learn from them, because you don't want to be like them. It's a hard life. That's a hard life to live. So I hope this video was a lesson or open your eyes for certain things, and just be more intentional about how you move out here. And if you like my bandana, I actually made it. You can go to www.riserco.com. I have 3 different colorways. They're super cute for the summer. You can wear them a bunch of different ways. Subscribe to my channel if you like to, like my video, and share this with your friends. You are appreciated.